Canada first, elbows up. Those are the broken promises we were told during the election. You and I were told that our economy would be put first, but now a deal has brought it all to the surface. That is that BC Ferries has given their billion-dollar bid to communist China. That's right. Many of you have heard and are joining us in the outrage against 4 ships being contracted to be made with Chinese steel when our own steel workers are facing a 50% tariff imposed by the U.S. I'm Drea Humphrey with Rebel News, and to help you take action, I've come up with a petition. You can open up another tab, go on another screen at noccpdeals.com. And today I bring you an interview with British Columbia's critic of transportation, Harman Bangu, to fill you in on the latest with this deal. Now, you have been sounding the alarm on this deal, but for those who are just tuning in or maybe they're not up to speed, tell us why it should matter to British Columbians and Canadians as a whole, this deal.
Right now, you're looking at this contract be given to a Chinese state-owned that's directly connected to the CCP and their PLA, which is very concerning. They don't share our same values, the democratic process. They've meddled in our elections. They've done anything to tear us down. I don't think we should be shipping jobs that could be good-paying jobs right here in BC that we can keep British Columbians in this province.
Now, our minister on the provincial level, Mike Farnworth, is basically saying, our hands are tied. They're independent. There's not a whole lot we can do, but I'm concerned. You take the position that that isn't quite true. Tell us more.
Yeah, no, because at the end of the day, he has the authority to intervene. And the concerning thing is, didn't Joy McPhail, someone that he was in cabinet with before when she was an NDP MLA, didn't she maybe raise this concern to him that it would be going to a Chinese shipyard? They act like it isn't, but then again, his campaign manager, who is also on the board for the BC Ferries situation, and it's really disheartening that, they come out and say they didn't know about this. One other thing that I want to bring up is Mike Farnworth admit that it would be $1.2 billion less for 4 vessels. That is $300 million less per vessel. My question now is, are they going to use Chinese steel, which has been named Timu steel? And there's been several situations where this has failed, and it's failed right here in British Columbia, in Victoria. Johnson Bridge, which Blue Bridge it was called, the locals call it, it had used Chinese steel, and they had to go down and tear it down and start from again. We cannot have that happen. And now I'm hearing concerns that that same steel might have been used in the production of the Patolo Bridge.
Wow, that is concerning. Timu steel, remember that. China's got 100% on canola, so what's going on with our Premier's elbows up situation?
Not just our canola, but our hard-working farmers and fishermen and everyone in those industries who are hit with a tariff, and they're having to raise prices on us, Canadians, British Columbians, by 50% just to offset things. That is unacceptable, and this Chinese government has done everything to undermine us here, and right here in our own soil. And I don't think we should be shipping away jobs, shipping away things when they're tariffing us and our economy. This doesn't help British Columbian economy. We need to get real, Dre. We can't just say, you know what, it's too expensive to build right here in British Columbia. Let's just ship these jobs out of town, out of this country. If that is going to be the process, then I'm sorry. There's going to be a lot of people that can't afford to live here. This is going to become a tourist town, and there's not going to be many people. When there's no jobs, there's no economy, there is no communities.
Well, we already know our young adults are leaving, so this is another reason to fight against that, which brings me to my last point here. We've started a petition called noccpdeals.com. But if you had all British Columbians in a room right now, what would you suggest that they do to fight against this?
Rate your local MLAs. I will be raising concerns. I have a few stories that I'll be sharing on my social medias today, just sounding the alarm on this steel. And the fact that we might already have a project that might have used this steel. I think it's very concerning. We need British Columbians to get serious. This is the same guy here, David Eby, that said elbows up the whole time. And now he's the first one to sell us out to the Chinese state CCP. This is unacceptable. The Chinese Communist Party, he's just funneling dollars there, and every step of the way they take those dollars and they degrade our values of life, our way of life, our foundation structure of Western civilization.
Now, I know your leader, John Rustad, has gone out and said not only all that, this is also a national security threat. Tell us more about that.
It is. I was raising alarm on that too. I was talking to my friend Aaron Gunn, MP for North Island Powell River. It is a security threat. What kind of system are they going to have on there? Who keeps this data? Are they going to patrol these vessels down our waterways and figure out how many ships cross, how much traffic there flows through? This could become a huge issue in 10, 15, 20 years down the road, and that is a huge concern that I have with this project as well.